those of you that don't know my story, about 12 years ago I was diagnosed with a brain tumour, and I can remember sitting on my hospital bed, hearing the buzzer of the ward and the tiny pitter-patter of footsteps running down the hallway. And I got down from my hospital bed and I opened my arms and my toddler son ran into them. And I remember holding him so close, smelling his baby smell, touching his hair and his skin and holding him close, and speaking to my mom over his shoulder, saying they've found a mass in my head and they're going to remove it in the morning. And I remember crushing my son, thinking I was never hold him again. And I remember that so well. Later on that evening, I went over to the radiator next to the window and I sat on it and I looked up at the stars. And I made a promise there and then that if I was to get through this, if I was to make it through, I would do everything in my power to make the world a better place. And it took me a long time. Fortunately, the tumour was benign, but I was left with a disease of the bone called osteomyelitis, and I ended up losing most of my forehead over the next 8 years, during many years of infection and disability. Then, unfortunately, I had a reconstruction that went wrong. But finally, I was cured. But during that time, I never stopped thinking about my promise. I never stopped thinking about ways that I could create this better world that I promised. And so I spent a lot of that time contemplating, researching, and eventually I went to a business advisor with my plan to save the world, as you do. And she said to me, "Alex, that's great, but nobody knows who you are." She said, "What you've been through, where you've come to now, this place, the fact that you're so patient, so peaceful, so happy, and so positive," she said, "that's what the world needs, and the world needs it now." She said, "Go away and write a book." So I did. And when I was writing this book, it ended up being mainly for women. I wanted to put right to all the wrongs in the world that are still occurring in this day and age. But in this book that I wrote, I also wrote down all the processes that I needed to go through in order to get back to that place of positivity, of peacefulness, of happiness, looking forward to opportunity and creating the infinite possibilities. And I want to share that with the world. So after I'd written my book and the Golden Compass, which is inside that system that I created, and I show you every single step of the way, I went away and I put it into a program that takes you step by step for each and every tiny process that I had to go through myself in order for me to be spiritually full, financially free, and confidently unstoppable. I'm not saying it's easy. You do have to do the work, but I do lay it out for you. I'm very honest. I'm not perfect, and I never will be, but I accept my imperfections. And I hope that you can your own one day. And the beauty about our imperfections is that they make us humble. When we make mistakes, when we say something we shouldn't, when we do something we shouldn't, or is bad for us or bad for the planet, then that keeps us humble. It keeps us in integrity. And if we're allowed to move on, if we allow ourselves, if we forgive ourselves and give ourselves permission to move on, this world will be a better place. Because this world needs you. I need you. We all need each other. With all the things that are going on in the world today, you are enough to help me, to help your sisters and your brothers and the children of the future. We all need to do something. So start with yourself. Start with that place in you that you need to fill up. And I'll help you fill that golden cup. I have a desperate desire to be happy and to help other women be happy too, so that we all can have the freedom to live sustainable lives, happy lives, lives that we dream of, and so that we can lead and make the world a better place, so that we have enough money to create the futures that we all desire, whatever they might be, and they will be different for each and every one of us. And the process I use makes sure that we always keep that foundation solid. We keep that foundation solid and grounded. And then we work for our dreams. We make the match. We create a path from where we are now to where we want to be. And we create each and every step as a masterpiece as we go along. Now, I know that some of those steps aren't easy, but we need to develop our mindset and our positivity in order to get through them. And I will be honest with you here, we have to step through a lot of fear. There are a lot of first times, but every time you do something for the first time, you've done it, you've achieved it, and that makes you feel really good, and that makes you feel really confident, and that makes you able to take the next step. Some of the women that I've helped in the foundation and through my teachings, either in the book or in the poetry, have said how it's changed their lives. Some have got their dream jobs, some have changed direction altogether, some have gained confidence, visibility, and taken action to get exactly what they want in life. But the magic ones, those magic testimonials that I get, are when somebody just says to me, "Alex, thank you, you saved my life." And that is when it really hits home. That if I hadn't taken chances, if I hadn't made changes, if I hadn't moved forward, then I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I want you to feel the accomplishment and the joy that I feel. I don't look very joyful now, but it really is such a pleasure and an honour to be able to serve people in that manner. Whether that is through poetry, whether that's through your own unique essence. I want to help women all over the world. This isn't your typical self-development or holistic program. As I said to you before, I've been really honest with you. I'm really honest in ways that you probably wouldn't expect. In the book, I explain that I've been through some really strange times. And you know what? I still have days when I'm not perfect at all, and I'm far from it. But I'm going to put my hand up and say, I'm not perfect, and I never will be. But it keeps me humble and enables me to serve from that place, knowing that I need the kindness and compassion as much as I can give it. So as I said, this course started with a promise to make the world a better place. And through that promise, I went on my own journey, a journey of excavation, of discovery, of learning, which led me to take action and gave me courage and gave me opportunities, which in turn has helped me to serve. And knowing that my work is working enables me to complete that cycle, and never, ever give up and share this message. This course is a fast-paced, experiential process, enabling you to lay the foundation to create the life that you want to lead, enabling you to find the courage to build the platform that you want to raise yourself up to and share a precious legacy with the world. If you choose to take the Tina training opportunity and share this message with other women who you know need it, either in your local area, online, or use within an existing business, then there will be 4 extra weeks of training. I'm not precious about the Women on Purpose Foundation, so I don't mind if you use it within an existing brand, or whether you create something unique to you that includes your essence. All I ask is that you just acknowledge that you use either the Golden Compass system or the A Woman on Purpose system, whichever suits you and your needs better. I'll be running this course twice a year if you want to go through this with me. And then if you become a teacher, you're able to actually spend a deeper amount of time with those women that really need to go full in to find and excavate their own story, their own desires, and what they want to leave as a precious legacy. This course starts soon, and we'll be opening the registration and closing it within the guidelines that we've set below. So if you want to join this, if you feel like this resonates with you, then do join us as soon as possible. If you feel that this does resonate with you, I urge you to take action today. I know, if I look back just on last year, how much I've grown, how much I've accomplished, how much I've achieved, and how many women I have managed to help in this past year alone. And I encourage you that if you're feeling the call, if this resonates with you, that you join us on this journey. Whether you want this for personal reflection, to go through it, to excavate your story, or whether you want this to help other women and include it in your business, then just look below. Ensure that you make a decision. And I just want to add, if you've noticed at the beginning of this video, I used 2 backdrops with pathways. I want you to think about the direction you want to take this next year. Which way will it be? Are you going to go forward, or are you going to stay in the same path you are on now? I encourage you. I'd love to welcome you, and I'd love to see you become a woman on purpose and join me on this journey and make your path and your steps to success masterpieces.